welcome to Overdrive, our first one of 2020. Guys, sorry, 2021. I'll get the right year in here.
There you go. It's got to the point where it got dementia. Nice.
It's the amount of times that we forgot what day we was in. Don't matter.
It's like that thing. You remember back in the day when you used to write checks, and you get to the new year, and for the first month at least, you'd still be writing the previous year on your check, and you'd have to kind of either rip it up and write a new one, or try and scribble it out and put your signature against it to say that you'd changed it.
Oh yeah, the initialing bits pointlessly. Actually, I got sent a check the other day. What on earth am I going to do with the check?
But no, but if it was one that you were sending, it would probably be bouncy, be a rubber one, wouldn't it?
No, it was sent to me, and it was I was like, okay, that's nice, £95, but what am I going to do with it?
Well, one of the things you're not going to be doing with it is buying a car to take part in the Dakar Rally, mainly because it wouldn't cover it.
That's also very, very true. And that happened, but I hate to say it, was it a bit of a non-event this year?
Well, it's been a bit of a non-event for a while, really, hasn't it? And, okay, I get the whole thing about, calling it the Dakar Rally because it's the spirit of Dakar. But it used to be the Paris Dakar Rally because it started in Paris and ended in Dakar.
But it does neither now.
Well, no, I mean, it hasn't finished in Dakar since 2007, and the last time it started in Paris was 2001. So yeah, bit bizarre.
No offense. It's just no offense. It's quite something else. It's like holding the Monte Carlo Rally in Southend.
Although, interestingly, in the early days of the Monte Carlo Rally, you had 5 starting points, and one of them was Scotland, and one of them was Norway or whatever. But
but that was Morris Monte Carlo or bust.
But that was based upon the original routes. The original routes did have 5 starting points. But Stephanie Pentahansel in the Mini Cooper buggy won. So similar car that Carlos Sainz used to win the Dakar last year. Carlos Sainz senior, not junior, the Formula One driver. We don't want to get any confusion there, but as you say, does it still have any relevance? Who's interested?
I hate to say it, but it's a long drive. It's just long roads. I'd much rather see the Miglia back.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not even roads, is it? It's all out in the desert. It's here, there, and everywhere. Not great. And of course, the big thing this year, the controversy after the win. Toyota driver Nasser Al-Attiyah is saying he doesn't want to compete next year unless the rules are more equal between the buggies, like the Mini Cooper style buggy, and the bigger traditional 4x4s like the Toyota Hilux that he races in. He's saying that the buggies have got an unfair advantage. Okay, I can kind of see where he's coming from, but it does. Part of me also thinks that's just sounds a bit like sour grapes.
Yeah, the problem is it's one of those things where, it's a bit like touring cars got in the UK a little while ago, and it became an irrelevance. And they need to, focus on what it really is. And at the minute, it's just this indifferentness.
Well, you've usually got an opinion on something.
Well, the thing is, right, is going on about the buggies have got more the advantage here and an advantage there, right?
Yeah.
But he's been accused of saying that he's been accused of losing because of his ego. Right?
Well, yeah. I mean, he's a former winner, so he wants to be in a winning position. no different to Fernando Alonso complaining about a GP2 engine, the whole GP2 engine debacle with Honda.
But you're never going to get an equal measure between all vehicles. You're always going to get a set of vehicles that outdo another set of vehicles.
Yeah.
If it's not stock series, you're always going to get that.
Yeah. Exactly. So you can't differentiate and say, oh, it's got to be a fair standing. If it's a fair standing, you make it a one make series. Then it's just no rally at all, is it? You're just taking a one make series through the beach.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
realistically, you might as well go and watch a Baja race down in California.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, is it time now for the organisers to put an end to the Dakar Rally?
To be honest, it's not the Dakar Rally. They've just they keep trying to do gimmicks with it. Either take it back to what it should be, or just get rid.
And when you say taking it back to what it should be, you mean that British Prime Minister's sons, British Prime Minister's sons have to take part and get lost in the desert. Is that really the essence of the Dakar Rally?
Well, it gives the SAS something to track, doesn't it? Yeah.
I tell you what you could do, right? You could put no GPS, no maps, no sort of navigational technology at all, and just go, all right, you want it equal. There you go. There's your starting point. Find your way there.
And frankly, I think the co-driver of any British entry has to be called Carruthers.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And he's got to be wearing a suit as well.
Oh, yeah, and a pit hat.
We alluded to the infamous Mark Thatcher getting lost moment there from the 81 Dakar Rally. Any other moments of the Dakar that spring to mind where we've seen some great races? The Jackie X taking what was effectively the Porsche 959 to victory. We've had Ari Vatanen winning in Peugeot 205 T16, which was originally a Group B rally car. There have been some great moments in the past.
Yeah, this is it. It's one of those things where living in the past, it's, they either need to get back to it. It's a case of they've veered so far off course with it. It's, when it just discredits, there's a lot of people that want to moan about Formula One, but Formula One is still the pinnacle of motorsport development. They develop things in there and technologies and cunningness that you just don't see anywhere else. They always have done, they still are, and that's great.
Apart from world endurance.
Yeah, is that really the pinnacle though?
Yeah, I think so.
But then you can get a pinnacle of technology, but if you take, like with the Dakar, right? If you strip back the driver back to basics with just those off-road vehicle capabilities, right, and put him through the kind of terrain and the kind of heat and that they go through. I mean, what makes it that he's not up there as a pinnacle of driver just because he's in something of major technology? Do you know what I mean? You can have the pinnacle of everything, but you don't just say that F1 is the best of the best just because it's got the best technology.
And it's got the best driver.
Yeah, let's face it. I mean, anyone that has a brain knows that Lewis Hamilton is the best driver. Sorry, Sir Lewis Hamilton.
We're glossing over this. Glossing over. I'm not even bothered. No, take it away. It's coming off the table.
Okay. Wolf's not biting on that one.
Oh, I am not. He should never have been on the honours list.
This time, you're right. It should have been years ago, Wolf. Thanks for pointing that out.
They should have kicked him out. They should have put his name in for a joke. Just pulled him up there. We're going to give you a knighthood. No, we're not. Psych! Get out of here.
really, I don't think Lewis is terribly bothered being like the richest sportsman in the country.
No, probably not.
If he stops acting like a petulant child, he'll be less than a rich.
But, the thing is, Mercedes now are only looking at offering him a 1-year deal. And he's not signed.
And if he don't put his finger out, he won't have a 1-year deal either.
Well,
because he won't have a deal.
We look at how George Russell fared as a stand-in, and you've got to say there's, he didn't do badly. Boy did good.
There's lots of rumours about what the contracts on offer are. I'm just waiting to see what actually comes up.
To be fair, we know he's going to be. He'll be on the grid, right? He'll be on the grid. They'll come to some sort of arrangement, put him on the grid.
Will they?
And they'll keep him.
Will they?
But if they take what Eddie Jordan was saying about Bernie Ecclestone when after Senna's death, saying, look, you got to move on. No driver is irreplaceable.
Exactly.
Right? And use it as a threat to Toto Wolff and say, look, it's either you stick to our terms, or we'll find someone else.
Yeah.
You may be
but
the best
this
racing
is
driver
Jordan,
there
who
is.
actually got Katie Price on the grid.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's put it this way. He made Davina McCall actually look like an authority on Formula One. And he ran a team.
The thing is, Hamilton's getting himself tied up with with his new Extreme E team, which is great because I think that's going to be interesting to see when that launches, and we're going to see the Hamilton-Rosberg battle recommence, this time as team owner managers in Extreme E, which I'm quite looking forward to. I know, Wilf, you don't like electric racing, and I know it's just Formula Sky electrics, but off-road. But it's more like it's giant Tamiya Bobcats, really, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I'm well up for a bit of this.
Right, the more I've watched of the Formula E, all right, it is good. It is good. As much as I think it's like Sky Electric's cars, it is a good form of racing, right?
So
and close, and you get the argy-bargy, and it's all very calculated, and I quite enjoy it because there is a bit of sort of bumping and boring, and do you know what I mean, elbows out here, there, and everywhere. That's good. Do you know what I mean? Because when you get to Formula One, everything that's sort of wheel-to-wheel racing, bit of touching, and they throw the toys out of the pram. And then they go, oh, he's trying to run me off the road. And do you know what I mean? It's like called him for a 5-second penalty and give him grid penalties and stuff like that. You don't see that in Formula E. You don't get them jumping out and having a thrown a wobbler because somebody just give him a little bit of a nudge.
But, okay, so we come away from that. Getting back to Hamilton, is he going to be driving this year? Is he only going to be on a 1-year contract, or does he take off to do Extreme E?
He's not going to take off to Extreme E because what's he got to prove there is a team manager. I reckon you're going to see more than the 1-year contract. I think there's a lot of hype around this. We see it every time there's any big conversation. Realistically, there's two people that really know. That is Mr. Wolff and a Sir Hamilton.
Wilf, your thoughts?
Yeah, he'll be on the grid, but depending on what he's willing to accept as a contract, because obviously what he's stating from the rumours and from what he's stating, what he wants in his contract is a case of, look, you either got to make compromises because of all the restrictions and regulations that are coming in with the caps into the teams, or you do go. So it's like you ever take a 1-year contract and compromise, or that's it. Do you know what I mean? But put it on the table and give him take it or leave it.
Yeah.
I guess we're going to find out. But either which way, Lloyd, you know, if it's more than 2 years, Wolf buys the drinks.
Yeah, once we get out of this crazy lockdown and we can get to a pub.
Well, there you go. Wolf's actually said he's going to buy a drink. Is this a red letter day?
It is. I'm just about to mark it down.
Look, I said I'll buy a drink. I didn't say for both of you. I just said I'd buy a drink. Mine.
Hey, I set the rules first. Don't try that one.
Okay.
If he takes a 2-year contract, I will buy you both a drink.
Yeah, tap water doesn't count.
You actually had to buy it, not ask for it. Okay, money has to exchange
and I may
hands.
even extend my generosity and get you a bag of pork scratchings each.
Ooh,
Blimey.
I could be sold on that.
Yeah.
Just moving on a little bit, we've got 2 teams being renamed this year. So Racing Point becomes Aston Martin, and Renault becomes
Green Mercedes. Yeah.
And Renault becomes Alpine.
Yep.
Thoughts on the rebranding exercises? Is it going to make any difference to either of those teams?
I like the Renault to Alpine rebrand because actually I think it's playing on some real racing heritage. And genuinely, I think they are trying to develop it a lot more, and they're bringing back road cars based on it. Yeah. Aston Martin, it just feels all like so many business deals wrapped up in one. It doesn't feel like there's any emotion there, and it's still a green Mercedes.
Yeah. I mean, I think Aston Martin they're being rebranded. I think it's just a case of they've just put their name to it. They've just sort of gone, we'll call it Aston Martin. But it's basically like Tim said, it's just a Mercedes.
Yeah. Certainly interested to hear during the week that Vettel's quite keen to get in the car and feel what the Mercedes engine or the Mercedes power package is like. You know, with not just the engine but the whole drivetrain with the hybrid system.
Do you want to see how easy it is to spin it?
Yeah.
See if he can go any quicker than last season. But then that's not hard because I could get on a bike and go quicker than Vettel last season.
So yeah, it is going to be interesting to see what happens there. Is it just going to be a green Mercedes? I think one of the things that I found quite interesting about the whole deal out of this, because Mercedes via AMG have taken last year took a slightly bigger chunk of ownership in Aston Martin. And one of the interesting things this year is that Aston Martin and AMG are both providing the safety car. So at different Grand Prix weekends, it will be an Aston Martin as opposed to a Mercedes AMG.
Yeah, I do get the suspicion that there's basically, Mercedes are looking to acquire a premium brand pretty much on the cheap here. And let's face it, they've done a few great business deals before like this. And I think, Toto's probably doing a few backroom deals and frankly make himself some cash. And bear in mind, he owns most of the Formula One team anyway. Hey, the guy's not exactly badly off, is he? So no. I think there's some very cunning deals here, but is it for the for the brand like Renault are doing with that Alpine? No.
Okay. Shall we just come away a little bit from Formula One, get back a little bit to rally? We're sort of mid-January. Normally, the time that the Monte Carlo rally that we've been talking about earlier on, would normally be starting that off. Nothing so far.
In fact, the classic version has actually been stopped, I've seen in the Italian press in the past 2 days.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, with the Monte Carlo is going to be kicking off next week. but yeah, as you say, the historic version, classic versions being called off. You know, we're still seeing a lot of impact because of coronavirus and COVID. Thoughts
And
on?
I've seen rumours all the street circuits are like Baku and Monaco again. They're being called into question already. I think we're in for another year of disruption, to be honest, gents.
Yeah, I think.
I think on the horizon we're gonna get, and until this really does get put under control, there is still going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be delayed, that's going to be cancelled. You know
I see a lot of filling events. I mean, there's the great thing that actually Imola's already back on the calendar again.
Exactly, yeah. So in Formula One, we've seen that the Australian Grand Prix has been postponed to later on in the year. There's been a reshuffle of some of the other events. As you say, Imola is already announced on the calendar. The Portuguese circuit hasn't been necessarily confirmed, but it's the rumours are that we may be going back there as well to the Algarve. So that'll be great, because I thought that went quite well.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what else that there is out there. It is unfortunate that we've only got one track in the UK that's got an F1 Grade A license. That's the only disappointing thing.
Yeah, and I don't. Yeah, Brands Hatch needs a lot of work to get itself up to scratch these days. I don't see where else could even get close now.
Donington's the only one really that would be close enough to a Grade A level, but that's about it really.
But when you're taking on like Brands Hatch and that, they're not really. I don't think that they're actually bothered too much whether they get it, because they can hold a lot of other serious events within that
yeah,
circuit,
there's no doubt about that.
So they're not going to really sort of.
Oh,
they're not
completely
going to
agree.
angle after it. You're right, but the thing is, you know, we are meant to be one of the key motorsport nations in Europe, and we've only got one place you can even hold it. What? No offence, but France, you know, you've got currently, where they're currently holding it.
Paul Ricard,
yeah, Paul Ricard, Manicourt,
Le Mans.
Yeah,
the Bugatti circuit at Le Mans could hold it. It wouldn't take much for that to get a Grade A license.
Now, if we look at Germany, you've got immediately two. Hockenheim, Nürburgring, Italy. Don't get me started on the amount of tracks there that can hold them.
Well, 3.
And then you think, but exactly 3, which is exactly 3 times more than the UK. And you think, and it's daft. I mean, Christ, how small is Holland, and it's got one?
Yeah.
I mean, Monaco.
See, I'd like him to go.
Have one.
I'd like him to go, instead of using Indianapolis in the States and stuff like that, take it to Laguna Seca. That would be fantastic. The corkscrew would just demolish the F1.
Well, I mean, we've said before about how good Laguna Seca is. We've said in a previous video, it's one of our favourite circuits. It is amazing. But actually, not coming away from F1, sort of the knock-on effect of the changes to the calendar. We've seen a change to the British Touring Car Championship calendar. That's then had a knock-on effect to club racing. It's moved some of the events around, including the Formula Ford Festival at the end of the year. Already, we know that that's not going to be taking place on the traditional weekends that it would do in October. It's being moved back another week because of changes that have happened to other calendars. We've not even started the season, and already we're seeing significant changes going on.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a flying by the seat of our pants year again. Last year, it was a miracle we got anything at all.
Mhm.
This year, I think we know what we can do from what happened last year, but we need to be prepared for an awful lot of changes. And and we need to remember that, frankly, this is all happening because of a horrific pandemic, really. And if we look at the hoo-ha around actually cancelling the Australian Grand Prix, which last year shouldn't have even got as far as it did, to be fair.
No.
Yeah, it's a case of massive sporting events with lots of people are vastly inappropriate at times like this, and it's great that we have televised events these days, and it can bring it out to people and actually give something for people like us, out there. It gives us something to actually live for, but we really also need to take a bigger look at the bigger picture worldwide here.
Completely agree with you on that one, Tim.
What do you think? Like, what do you think about the virtual fans? Like, you've got other sports where we're out in the States with the baseball, with like the wrestling, and you've got
Terrible.
the NBA, and you've got an element of using.
It's genuinely terrible. It's one of those things. If you could actually, sometimes I saw it with some other sports, you actually got people which were selected to actually have their reactions piped in onto TV screens at certain sporting events. That's actually the next best thing, I would say. You've got actual fans giving actual reactions, and that is what you want. However, fake noise, it's like canned laughter on sort of 70s and 80s sitcoms that frankly weren't funny.
Yeah, and I think that was I think that was one of the things that was a problem with the football when they started bringing that back. The fake noise that they had just didn't work, and even players agreed it didn't work.
I don't know anyone that actually likes it, and it's just basically modern canned laughter.
Yeah.
The fact is, we need to accept what's going on and stop trying to have substitutes. It's like someone putting in half fat cream into a cake and pretending it's the same thing. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking like the canned sound effects and all of that. Well, I'm talking about the actual virtual fan, like me, you, Lloyd.
Well, that we're not virtual, we're real. But
that's what I'm saying. I mean, what scope is it that we've got during this pandemic? Is it worthwhile to an actual fan?
Yeah, totally. I mean, if you can actually, if you are a fan, you will agree to help make the spectacle better. Yeah. It's one of those things. You get, with football, you've got season ticket holders who are killed to have their face back there. And actually, if you could sort of get a camera set up so they get their usual season ticket view, they would, a lot of them would adore that.
Yeah, but
the back.
Yeah, the technology to that though is
all right. Technology is difficult, but we're managing to overcome a worldwide pandemic slowly but surely. But there's signs it's happening. So realistically, we should be looking at how we can overcome other aspects of it. Yeah. And rather than saying it's difficult, I don't care if it's difficult. Let's do it.
That's what I'm saying. We've got the amount of money that's getting pumped into F1, the amount of money that generates. So if we're in this kind of situation, then we need to be looking at that type of element.
Okay.
We
cannot have fans there at that scope. You've got to have a way of putting your fan back on the screen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Will.
Just sort of coming away from racing for a bit of news that came out this week on the road car side of things, and something that I think we'll all be interested in. Nissan have filed patent drawings for their new 400Z sports car, so replacement for the current 370Z. And Nissan have had a long line of famous Z sports cars going right the way back through to the 70s. Does the world need another front engine rear wheel drive two-seater coupe sports car. Is that what we need right now?
Yes.
It may not be what we need, but it's probably what we want. It's a case of, realistically, after you've been down the pub, you've had a number of, fun alcoholic beverages. What you really need is to go home and actually have some sleep. What you really want is the kebab.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to call it the kebab.
The Nissan kebab.
Yep, it's a kebab.
Yeah.
You know you shouldn't have it, but you want it.
Mm.
But right. So I mean, obviously they're bringing that out now. I don't know the specs on it. So what is the specs? Or what are we looking at?
Front engine, rear wheel drive.
V6, 6-speed. Well, a lot of the finer details are still a little bit uncertain, but it will be following the classic formula: front engine, rear wheel drive, very long bonnet.
So they've not gone
lively.
hybrid. They've not gone hybrid sports car.
Not yet. But there are some rumours that there may be a hybrid version later on, depending on how you see the rumours or where you read the rumours from. But at the moment it's full-blooded 98 octane. Get the fuel in there.
Well, yeah. We obviously, I mean, we still need these as motoring enthusiasts. You can't just take it away. Do you know what I mean? It's. I know that we've got to go in the direction of electric and hybrid and that sort of thing, but you've still got to have an element in there that's just basic, raw.
Yeah, the basic.
Power.
Yeah, the not much has been reviewed, but they're saying it's going to be a twin turbo V6 petrol and 6-speed manual.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a kebab. I reckon it's a large Donald with chili sauce.
There is, however, one bit of bad news about the announcement.
Go on.
It's not coming to Europe.
Well, there you go. It's it's like at the minute all the kebab houses are shut at the minute, so I still can't have one.
So they're going to keep it over. So they're keeping it back over in the
the Japanese homeland.
And the US market, but apparently Nissan in Europe is concentrating on SUVs like the Duke and the Qashqai.
I thought you said SUVs, not jokes.
Hey, I'm only reading the press release.
Yeah, Alpha are bringing out more SUVs, but they bring out at least nice ones.
Yes.
Yeah, the Tonale actually looks quite refreshing.
It does. It's just a shame it's an SUV.
Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong. I mean, now for an SUV, it's not one of those things you generally associate, but actually, it looks like they're making it quite tasty and able.
Okay. Well, final opinions from you before we close.
On SUVs.
On anything we've spoken about. Lewis Hamilton.
No comment.
On the Dakar Rally.
On the Dakar, they just need to completely rebrand it as a whole new thing.
On Aston Martin in F1.
On Aston Martin, that's just a name. They've just put it's like a branding logo. That's all they've done. Is they've just put their own name on it.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like the Nike Air Jordan. This is Aston Martin putting Michael Jordan on a Nike trainer. That's all it is.
It's like Stella Artois being brewed in the UK, is it?
Yeah.
That's it. That's my.
It's basically Hofmeister, isn't it? Yeah, it's 3.2%, and resembles some bodily waste.
Oh, nice. Tim, final thoughts.
Well, final thoughts. SUVs, necessary evil in many areas. It's, you know, Alpha are making some nice ones. Evidently Nissan are not, because if you've seen the Duke, you'd much rather you hadn't.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see who else can actually start making some decent looking ones, because right now it's you know, Land Rover are still doing their thing and very successfully, but not many other people are, frankly, and I think there really needs to be some thought behind it.
And on that note, it's time to end. See you next time.